Hi, my name is Lisa Ellram. I'm here today to talk to you about a study that I conducted with some of my colleagues for CAPS Research. The name of the study is Supply Chain Costing Strategies, Establishing and Achieving Cost Targets. My colleagues, Wendy Tate, who's a professor at University of Tennessee, and Tom Choi, who's a professor at Arizona State University, as well as affiliated with CAPS Research, have been studying procurement for a number of years. Procurement has always had a high level of responsibility for achieving cost savings within the organization. The overarching objective of this study is to understand the current state of cost savings in procurement. And we looked at 5 different questions. We used a case study approach, and the case studies involved 12 companies. We talked to 42 individuals across a variety of functions, including, of course, procurement in all cases, as well as somebody from accounting or finance, and in some cases, design engineers or other functions within the organization. A couple of key takeaways I'd like to leave you with from this study. First, there's no perfect system. It depends a lot on the corporate culture, and it also depends on the processes and what the organization is going through. The second very important issue is the right system depends on the industry that you're in, and it depends on the types of things that you're purchasing. As we saw with the manufacturing companies, there's a strong emphasis on cost savings for direct materials purchases. They do an excellent job there, but at the same time, they could be missing some opportunities for cost avoidance and some opportunities on the indirect side. We saw from the service and project-oriented companies that they do a really excellent job on managing and tracking indirect savings and cost avoidance, and that everyone can probably learn from what they're doing there. And then finally, the new products and new projects really need to be managed completely separately and have the attention focused very differently. Procurement has been held accountable for achieving cost targets for as long as the procurement function has existed. In spite of that, there are still some major challenges that everybody faces in achieving their cost targets. The first one is, how can you have the right type of performance measures that drive behaviors that are good for the organization, not just the individual? So these measures need to go beyond pure cost savings numbers and embrace things like the value that's being driven by that particular purchase and the relationships within the organization. A second major issue is the whole area of cost avoidance. How should it be tracked? When should it be tracked? Should it even be tracked? This is one that organizations continue to struggle with. Also, you need to have realistic requirements that the right costs are measured and that the right costs are captured the first time, encouraging people to do the best job possible in getting the low costs today. And finally, the new product development process needs to be completely separate from the annual year-over-year type of cost savings in order for it to be effective, which is discussed in a lot more detail in the report itself. Today, we've only had time to cover some very high-level findings from this study, and there are many interesting additional findings that are included in the report itself. This includes detailed case studies of the 12 companies that we interviewed, and also provides some very in-depth insights into what is the best way to handle new product development cost savings and cost reduction, and what is the right type of relationship for the procurement function to have with the accounting and finance functions in terms of reporting and tracking their cost savings results. So we hope that you found this presentation useful, and I'd like to close by thanking CAPS Research and Arizona State University for sponsoring this project. We'd also like to thank all of the companies and the individuals who gave so generously of their time and talked to us freely about their cost management processes. Without their participation, this research wouldn't have been possible.